Beautiful people, it is Sunday, October 19th. And listen, it's wash day for my ladies. You know how wash day goes. It could be short, it could be long, okay? It used to take me like 4 to 6 hours to do my hair on wash day, but I got a routine, okay? So I pre-poo. I'm just doing some warm water. This is what I do right here, okay? Add some water. Okay, we got to tangle before we get in that shower, okay? Or else we'll be in there all day, okay? We're not doing that, okay? So just getting the excess hair out, which is just a little, not too much. All right, and then on this go round, I am using Shea Moisture's Raw Shea Butter Deep Moisturizing Conditioner. It has sea kelp and argan oil, moisturizes curly and coily hair for healthy growth, okay? Because my hair gets dry super fast, okay? So you see this side, I have low porosity. It does not hold water. It does not hold moisture well. And so I have to constantly moisturize. And so I'm doing a pre-poo. And the pre-poo really saves time. Let me know in the chat, do you pre-poo? Okay, because for me, it saves time, okay? And I just add the product in, work it in here. And then I just use a nice little detanger brush after I add a good amount of the product in and work it in, okay? And then I just go ahead and use my detangling brush to detangle. And then I twist it up, okay? But the real reason of this video is because I am behind on my TBR. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I am Darnaya, Darice, first name, middle name. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Now, as the video is titled, I am behind on my TBR. I finished blow drying my hair, y'all, and this is how it's looking. It's looking full. I was thinking about pressing it, like flat ironing it, but I don't want to do that because it's like still growing back and filling back in, and so I'm probably going to later today, like put it in just jumbo twist, moisturize it again. I put leave-in and some argan oil on it and blow dried it out. And this is what we have. Okay, so we're wearing it out. Okay, we're wearing it out. But okay, so let's get into. I have read 3 books so far in October, only 3, and it is October 19th. I should have been on book number 5 or 6 or 7 at least, okay? And I am so far behind because it's been so busy. So let's take a look at the books that I still need to read. I have 5 books left to read. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so if you watch my shorts, you know I was going to, my next read was going to be Memphis, Tara M. Stringfellow. Look at this cover. Loving the cover. I've seen people review this. I've seen a good review that it was such a great read. If you like family stories, drama, and families working their issues out. And if you can see, I only read a little bit. I literally got to page 12, I believe. I read 1 chapter, okay? I'm on chapter 2. That was last week, y'all. Last week. And this book, honestly, I was like, this not making sense to me. This is not making sense. And I know you have books that start off like a lot's going on, and you got to keep reading the book, give it time to let it build up and get into the story, and then they'll piece everything together. It wasn't even that issue. The writing, the phrasing, literally, I was like, this not making sense. Like, it just seems like a difference. I don't know. It's like it's jumping into different stories at one time. I don't know how to describe it, but it just wasn't a good flow. Okay, that's what it is. It wasn't a good flow of read, and so I'm gonna have to circle back to this one. I finished Where Do We Go From Here by Martin Luther King Jr. Had a lot of notes. That I would say is a must read, but you can look out for my wrap up for that full review on it, or my full thoughts on it. but that put me in a reading slump. You know, if you read nonfiction and you're getting so much information and you're thinking critically on what you're reading, it's like I need an in-between book to get me in a flow, a good story that's still fun, interesting, entertaining, and then I get back on track. So I had to put this down because that book was not it. Okay. So then I got The Inmate by Frida McFadden. I am on page 68 and I started this, I think, last Tuesday. Okay. Last Tuesday I started this book and I'm only on page 68. Now normally you could flow right through this. This book is following Brooke Sullivan. It's a quick, easy read. It's thriller. It's your typical Frida McFadden. Brooke reminds me kind of of Millie, and I say that because she has a lot of internal thoughts. If you read a lot of Frida, you know Frida, a lot of her characters, she's going to write in first person. You're going to get, a lot of times you get dual POVs. I haven't gotten to a dual POV here. I got dual timelines in this book so far. So it's going from present day to 11 years ago when the main character and her former boyfriend was in high school. And now they are young adults. They're in their late 20s. And so with Brooke, she has a lot of internal thoughts and she makes a lot of assumptions. She assumes to know before she actually knows. And so she kind of operates off of that. And so she is now a nurse. She didn't expect to get a job at a maximum penitentiary security institution, but she did. And so she went back home to work at this particular job, which is like an hour away from her parents' house, but her parents are no longer living. It's a lot going on, and then she runs into her former boyfriend that's in the penitentiary. So that's what's going on here. It's good. I just haven't had the time to really read. So y'all need to help me. Okay, help me stay on track. And I love the help. The help comes from y'all videos. Okay, I love watching y'all book hauls, everything. So it keeps me encouraged. All right, so I'm gonna quickly just go over the books that I still need to read, and we'll see if we get through them. So stay tuned for the wrap up. I'll also show you new books that I have, a pair of new shoes that I bought, and what I got from MSU, or what they gave us for free. Okay, but allegedly I plan to read this next, hopefully after The Inmate. I still have to read W.B. Du Bois, the Souls of Black Folks. I do plan to still get to this one. I'm excited to also read Frida McFadden, Camilla's Roses. I just don't know where I'm going to place it. So either allegedly or this one will be next. We'll see. And then, of course, Tamara Hall as The Wicked Watch. I've heard some on, like, one of the book girlies on TikTok. She was like, she read this and she felt like it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad for Tamara Hall, because Tamara, you know, she is not, being an author is not her everyday job. She's like a show host, and her shows, you can see her shows on YouTube, her talk shows or whatever. And so I want to see it for myself to see how good it is. Okay, all right, so we have 2 new books. Let's get into, my husband went to a protest yesterday, and at the protest they were giving away banned books, and he picked up James Baldwin. I'm about to drop this. Notes of a Native Son. So I'm excited to get to this one. This will be my second work by James Baldwin that I have. I have Gold Tether on the Mountain. I did a whole review on that. Girl, I was acting stuff out. I was on it. Okay, I was on it. And so I'm so excited to read this. Gold Tether on the Mountain was so good, so profound, because you know James is going to talk about sexuality. He's going to talk about racism. He's going to talk about the cultural difference from a Black male viewpoint at his time, and it's so profound, and it gives you more insight on how to look at the Black male experience, because sometimes you get a lot where it's like the Black woman has to go through A, B, C, we have to have the kids and so forth, but we don't realize or give much attention to the plight of Black men as well, and just all people, because everyone has different things that they experience and where they are. And so I'm excited about this. And then this is actually was gifted to my oldest son. This is Extraordinary Transformation. This was from another school, a college that had sent this, and this is from High Point. Ooh, you don't see that. It's from High Point University. And I want to say this author is Nito Cuban. I hope I'm saying that right. And it comes in this beautiful box. Look at that. So that's how you promote your college. Like, send your kid over here because look, this is what we give you. And this is what the book looks like. I do enjoy leadership books on leadership. If you honestly would like, when it comes to like personal development, sometimes if you're looking in a category, if you read one, you read another, you have some fluff, but you can pull some good points out of the fluff. And this is from Maxwell's leadership collection here. So I have that as well. And then from Mississippi State University, we were talking to the physics professor, and I asked the physics professor about, okay, what textbooks, how you decide what textbooks you use. And so we were just talking about that. And I told her how I love to learn. I put myself on a self-learning track throughout the year, and I continue to study even outside of being out of college on my own. And I read, I take notes, I highlight, and try to implement that and connect the dots for math, science, leadership, history, all of that. Okay. And so she gave us a total of 6 books. My oldest son have 3. I picked up 3. And so the first one I have is in the astronomy textbook. This is At Play in the Cosmos. So those astronomy majors, if you're getting into science, physics, this is a fun textbook. So I will be assigning myself reading assignments at work. Okay, this is how I stay critical thinker. Keep thinking, keep learning, and keep doing. Right. This book is The Universe, the Solar System. This is another physics textbook, or another science, astronomy, and physics textbook that the physics department uses. And this one is Universe, Stars, and Galaxies. And so, you know, this comes in handy if he's contemplating doing computer engineering and double majoring in physics and vice versa. That will be useful as well for him. But I'm going to be using it. I already had textbooks too. I don't know who still studies foreign language, but I still study Spanish. I have a Spanish 2 textbook that I use, and I give myself work. And yes, I love homework. Always have. Love homework. I also have, if you ever heard of OpenStax, if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to add skills and you don't necessarily want to pay for certification, or you don't have the time yet and you want to learn at your own pace, I would say go to openstax.org. You can also get OpenStax textbooks. These are college textbooks that are used, and some of it are previous textbooks, but they hold similar information. It's just on the newer text, just certain things or certain sections are updated at a time, but it's really the same basis of information foundation. But you can get them on Amazon, these OpenStax textbooks. So I have Psychology 2E, and this is more so like your introductory to psychology course. So it's like your foundational course in psychology. And I also have the sociology text. This is like your college level introductory sociology course, which I took Sociology 101 at University of Maryland, and I did enjoy that course. But now that I'm getting back into the text and into the work and the lingo, I'm understanding it more, even more so than I did in college. And so yeah, that's everything I have. But let me know, have you read Memphis? How did you start? How did you finish this book? Like, how did you feel about it overall? Should I just keep reading or move it on my TBR to move it to next year? I know James Baldwin, Notes of a Nation. I may save this for February 2026 to add to my TBR, either January or February. I won't be reading it this year because I won't get to it. I still have WBD. W.E.B. Du Bois's biography by David Levering to still get to. But let me know, how did you feel about Memphis if you read this? Did it make sense to you? Do I have to continue reading past chapter one? So I know one of the bookers was like, hey, if I don't like a book, it could be the first. It could be the first chapter. It could be the first two. I'm going to DNF before. I know some people give it to about the 40% mark, the 50% mark. So let me know in the comments, how long do you read a book? What is on here? Okay. How long do you read a book before you DNF it? Or do you go back to it? Or do you just never go back to it? Let me know in the chat. But I'm excited. So I'm going to show you some clips of the Mississippi State travel little clips that I have, and then yeah, that is it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you all. Thanks for commenting. I love seeing your comments. I love seeing your feedback. I love seeing what you're reading or hearing what you're doing in your life. How are you progressing? How are you getting by? How are you make do? I hope you always stay encouraged. I hope you always stay uplifted, and until next time, always remember to keep rising. I forgot to show you the shoes. Here they are, just some quick flats, okay? All right, so we made it to Mississippi State. This is the university. This is the outfit I wore the night my husband had to speak at the university, which was on Thursday. Here's a little clip of us preparing for this speech, and people, students were already in the room as we were preparing. This is Friday when we toured the campus. The campus was actually bigger than I thought it was. It was nice and beautiful. We are so proud of our oldest daughter, oldest son. Our oldest daughter is 15. Our oldest son is 18. They're both high honors in advance, and they are off to college next year.
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and leave.